Well, hello, and today we're going to have a quick look at Space Race, which is a Kickstarter that I missed out on, but they brought out an expansion recently, so I'm very pleased to see that they've actually shipped me the core game, and I'm now just waiting for the Kickstarter fulfillment of the expansion. And it's also really good that this has arrived today, because yesterday evening the Falcon Super Heavy rockets launched with mixed results, with the two boosters landing successfully, and of course Spaceman floating off around the Earth. And currently you can actually still watch the live stream of a Tesla car with an astronaut suit in space. So you can actually relive right now some of the excitement that this game is sort of replicating, with obviously Kennedy and his "We choose to go to the moon" speech, which was kind of the peak of the space race. Anyway, let's get inside the box. Well, inside the box we have a rule book, an insert that actually is great. You can actually rip out bits for sleeves, etc., and a nice little player marker, Space Race 1, and of course your decks of cards for various bits and pieces, because this is basically sort of a, I don't know, would it be called a tableau building game where you're trying to hook all your bits together to get your space race? Anyway, let's have a quick skim of the rules and get these cards open. Just going to have a quick look at the insert here, and as you can see, if you don't mind about sleeving your cards, it very nicely stores your cards with your play deck, your individual space agencies, and then the initiative marker. The rocket sadly does sort of just drop in there, which is a bit of a pain, but that's great. Now if you like sleeving your cards, if I remember correctly, these little nubbins, which you might not be able to see in this light, you can rip those out, and then all the card sleeves should fit in the box. So really, really nice touch. Very pleased with that. And then the rule book, of course, just drops in on top. So well done on that. Anyway, let's get to the cards. Now the rule book, I believe you can download this. It's got some nice art. I really like this inside cover. Bit of backstory, object of the game, the goal of the game, nice and clear. It then gives you a good breakdown of the components. Just check that's focusing for you. There you go. So basic concepts and terms. So what a zone is, or your space agency. Then talks about your various individual cards, your control cards, which are sort of the cards all players start with. How to set up the game. Then how to actually play it. A whole load of good stuff in there. Then, of course, the key bit, endgame and scoring, to work out who's won the game. Then there's a variant, including a solo, the JFK variant. Then there's a little FAQ with the Kickstarter thanks, and then a game summary, and then just some blurb on the back. Anyway, the cards then. So you've got, I think it's 4 of these. So you've got Propaganda, 1, 3, and 6, Technology, 1, 3, and 6, Space Program, 1, 3, and 6, and Breakthrough, 1, 3, and 6. And these are important for you to build up your deck. You've then got 3 sort of summary cards. So you've got setup, card types and subtypes and zones. And then on the other side, basically just more of the same, but with round structure on the setup one. So nice little quick reference there. So that's those. Then you've got the initiative marker, which I will chuck with those cards. Then you've got various bits. So you've got various sort of projects. So Mercury, Cassini-Huygens, Voyager. Then you've got Putting a Man in Space, Dog, Small Step for Man, Exploring External Planets, Lakes and Tychon, Signal, First Comet Landing, First Mars Rover, First Moon Rover, Intercept Probe, Leaving Earth, Pluto Flyby, Permanent Moon Base. And the artwork is great. It's this really nice kind of cartoony style. I like it. Then you've actually got actual sort of astronauts. So Alexia, Neil, Elon, very appropriate for right now, Sergey, Richard Branson, Mr. Hawk in there, Valentino. Anyway, you can see the names. I'm not going to try and mangle the pronunciation of various people. And it's very sad that a lot of these people are actually no longer with us. We then got some propaganda stuff. So The Eagle Has Landed, Covert Ops, Espionage, Cold War, Moon Speech, Sabotage, propaganda, space tourism, so that's pretty cool. So that's your sort of propaganda. Then we've got various areas, so for example Area 51, the Russian and American space stations, Space Shuttle, Space Center, JPL, Soyuz, etc, etc. So again, I'm not spending too long on this because you can see all this by buying the game yourself. I do recommend it, it's really good. So Sputnik, Apollo, Vostok, so those I will chuck with these down at the bottom here. So as you can see, you've got your kind of teal coloured cards, your kind of orangey yellow, your red, your purple, and hopefully they're nice and easy for colourblind people to see. And you can kind of build a sort of a tableau, so without checking the rules to check this is legal, but for example you could have Baikonur, and then off Baikonur you would build Area 51, and then off Area 51 maybe you would have Alexei. I'd have to check, that might not be a legal placement. And then let's say, what else have we got? Maybe we do a first Mars rover, and then we would score that and work out, whether we won the game or not. So that's sort of the basic concept of the game. Anyway, I'm probably going to wait for the expansion to do more coverage on this game. Also means I'll get it to the table and be able to do a bit of a decent rules explanation. But in the meantime, if you want to learn how to play the game, just grab yourself the PDF. But just wanted to quickly get this up there to, commemorate basically the launch of the Heavy Falcon rocket. And yeah, really excited to get this. Expect me to come back to this game in the future.